بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. We had madrasa class today, and what we were discussing with madrasa students, I think one point which will become very relevant to our situation, and that point and subject was, what was mattering the most to Sahaba Ridwanullahi ta'ala ajmain? What mattered the most? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us all for His deed, for these masajid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that opportunity once more, that they become open in a normal situation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring that time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring that time that they become open with normal procedure. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings that time very soon. What was mattering to Sahaba the most? Now we were doing one incident which is very well known by everybody. That early days of Islam, it was a lockdown situation. It was a lockdown situation. To meet Muhammadur Rasulullah Sallallahu when he became messenger and when he became prophet and Rasul, to meet with Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it was as if you are inviting your own death. It was such a severe lockdown. In that situation, that story is very well known by everybody, that at one stage Quraysh came together and they came with the conclusion that, Nauzubillah, let us assassinate Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, so our problem will go. So at that time, Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he was not Muslim. He was anti-Islam. He was arch enemy to Muslims. So he took up the challenge. He took up the challenge. And he was going with the open, naked sword, Nauzubillah, to assassinate Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Story is well known, but what I want to share. While he was going, he met one of the Sahabi, Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala. Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala, he was secretly Muslim. He was Muslim, but he was hiding his Islam. And it was such a lockdown period, such a severe lockdown, that it was the advice of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that keep your Islam to yourself. If you declare you are Muslim, then you are inviting trouble for yourself. And may Allah protect us, Allah protect us, that we should not go back to the same situation again. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect one and all. Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala, he was secretly Muslim. So when he saw Umar radiallahu ta'ala with open, naked sword, with anger, so he asked, where are you heading to? So Umar radiallahu ta'ala said that I am going to Nauzubillah Muhammad, I am going to solve the problem once and for all. So that is when, what was mattering the Sahaba the most. Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala felt that my Habib Sallallahu will be in trouble. Umar radiallahu ta'ala has no knowledge of Nu'aym's Islam. And to Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala, life of Nabi Sallallahu was more dearer than anything else. So there and then, he played a trick. And he diverted Umar radiallahu ta'ala from one direction to another direction. He said to Umar radiallahu ta'ala that, worry about Muhammad later. First worry about your own family. Worry about your own self. Your sister had accepted Islam. Your brother-in-law had accepted Islam. So you worry about your own family. Tackle Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam afterwards. First tackle your own family. That's how Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala anhu diverted him from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to his sister. Why? Because, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his safety and his well-being mattered the most to Sahaba ridwanullahi ta'ala ajma'in. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us imani mizaj of Sahaba. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us mizaj of Sahaba ridwanullahi ta'ala ajma'in. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala went there, and then situation was changed. I don't want to go into that story. That sister and brother-in-law, Sa'id ibn Zayd. Sa'id, his brother-in-law, he is from the Ashara Mubashara. Brother-in-law of Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he is from the Ashara Mubashara. Sa'id ibn Zayd. And his brother-in-law was brother-in-law from both ways. Umar radiallahu ta'ala was married to his sister, and he was married to Umar radiallahu ta'ala's sister. They were brother-in-laws of one another. Both of them, they were married to sister of one another. Umar radiallahu ta'ala was married to sister of Sa'id ibn Zayd. And Sa'id ibn Zayd was married to the sister of Umar radiallahu ta'ala. So when he went there, I am not going to go into the end of the story that as a result Umar radiallahu ta'ala accepted Islam. But from Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala, what we come to conclude that Nabi Sallallahu was more dearer than anything else. And that is what Nabi Sallallahu said into the Hadith Sharif, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. To none of you will have complete iman. Your iman will not be perfected, not be completed until I become most beloved than yourself, your family, your children, then whole mankind. If I become that beloved, then you are a believer. Then your iman is perfected. Then your iman is complete. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us complete iman. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala, he accepted Islam in very early days of Islam. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala accepted Islam in very early days of Islam. We shared many times how he accepted Islam. Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were out, and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala, he was grazing goats, young little boy, grazing goats. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Hazrat Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala, they were hungry. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked Hazrat Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala, can we have some milk from this boy, from the goats? So when Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala requested, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala, young boy, said that these goats are not mine. I am just charging. That is my bread and butter. I graze goats, people pay me, and that's how I survive. So they are not mine, and I cannot give you milk. It is against my honesty. It is against the truthfulness. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that, oh boy, can you bring that goat who is naturally do not produce any milk? Can you bring such a goat? When that goat was brought to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, placed his hands Mubarak over the milk bag of that goat, became full of milk. They milked that goat. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam drank. Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala who drank. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala may have drank. And then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam placed his hands Mubarak over the milk bag again. That milk bag became the way it was. Abdullah is watching all of that. Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala is watching all of that. So when he was watching all of that, Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala saw that miracle in front of his eyes. So Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala requested to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that, can you teach me what you know? So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Innaka ghulamun mu'allamun. You are such a beautiful boy. You have already learned. You are already being taught. That is what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam wiped his hand Mubarak over him also. And that's how Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, first planted the seed of Islam into the heart of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. And he was from the very early Muslims. He had migrated to Ethiopia, Habasha. He had migrated to Ethiopia. And if we remember, Quraysh, They broke just rumors that Makkans, they have accepted Islam. So some people, when they heard that news, they returned to Makkah Mukarramah, and when they returned, they found that that news was false. So some of them, they stayed back, and some of them, they went back. So Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala had come back to Makkah Mukarramah, and then he was gone again to Ethiopia. He was from the early Muslims. When Hijrat of Medina Munawwara took place, people from Habasha, they came very late. If you remember, we had shared many times that Ja'far radiyallahu ta'ala, cousin of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ja'far radiyallahu ta'ala, he was first cousin of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, son of Abu Talib, son of Abu Talib. Abu Talib had son called Talib, Ali radiyallahu ta'ala, Aqil and Ja'far. They were the sons of Abu Talib, and all of them age-wise, first was 10, then second was 20, third was 30, and fourth was 40. There was 10 years gap in between all these four brothers. There was 10 years gap. So Hazrat Ja'far, he was the first cousin. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to say to him, Ashbahta khalqi wal khilqi. Ashbahta khalqi wa khuluqi. Ashbahta khalqi wa khuluqi. You have my feature also, and you have my characteristic also. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to Hazrat Ja'far radiyallahu anhu that in feature also you are resembling me, and in manners and in character you are resembling me. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So we have shared many times that the day Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam conquered Khaybar, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam conquered Khaybar, and can I say something in between the lines? I don't know how mature our understandings are. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam conquered Khaybar, that took place 14, 15 centuries ago. And from whom Khaybar was conquered, they know, and their progeny know more than ourselves. Like Abu Yahya related one incident to Maulana Abrar Sahib yesterday, and he narrated to me Zohar time that one Muslim could not use his tongue, and he was admitted in one of the hospital in America, and the doctor was Jew. So you know what? He diagnosed the problem, and then he gave prescribed medicine, prescribed cure for him. And what was? That you start reading Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that fihi shifa'ul linnas. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had said about Quran that Quran is cure. Quran in its totality is cure. If you have conviction into Quran, if you have yaqeen into Quran, if you have faith into Quran, every letter has far greater power than any other medicine in the world. But if you have yaqeen, if you don't have yaqeen, then don't blame Quran, blame yourself. And here, person who does not believe in Quran, and Quran says, الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابِ يَعْرِفُونَهُ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاهُمْ. Those who are people of book, they know Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they know Quran the way they know their children. But their mission is something else. And that is what I wanted to underline. That they continue with their mission. And this ummah has forgotten their own mission and lesson and messages. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us back to whole Quran and Sunnah. So that Jew doctor, he prescribed that if you would start reading Quran, your problem will be solved. And it was solved. And it was solved. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us back to Quran. These people, they have more conviction into Quran, but with enmity. Allah says, الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابِ يَعْرِفُونَهُ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاهُمْ. Those who are given kitab, they know haqqaniyat of Islam the way they know haqqaniyat of their own children. وَدَّ كَثِيرٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ لَوْ يَرُدُّونَكُمْ مِّن بَعْدِ إِيمَانِكُمْ كُفَّارًا. Quran says, Many of the people of book, their burning wish and desire to turn you back to kufr. Hasadan min indi anfusihim. Because they have hasad with you. They are suffering with the fever of Jahannam, and they want you to suffer with the fever of Jahannam. That is the ultimate goal because of that hasad. So, you know what I was saying? Ja'far radiallahu ta'ala came back to Medina Munawwara when Khaybar was conquered. And at that time, many of those who had migrated to Abyssinia, to Ethiopia, to Habasha, they came back. But Abdullah ibn Masud, I was saying, Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala, he had come back to Medina Munawwara very early from Ethiopia. From Ethiopia and from Habasha, Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala had come back very early. So when he came back to Medina Munawwara, you know, when he had gone to Habasha, there was different amal. Islam was in process. You know, wahi used to come down. Wahi is coming down. Revelation is coming down. And Islam is moving towards its perfection. When Nabi Sallallahu was performing the final Hajj, Hajjatul Wada, that's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum deenakum. Now we have perfected your deen. Till then, you know, perfection was continuing. So when Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala had gone from Makkah Mukarramah, during the salat, it was allowed to give answer to person who is entering in a masjid and you are performing salat, and if he makes salam, then you were allowed to give reply, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In Meccan days, it was allowed that you make salam, and if someone makes salam and you are in salat, even at home, if you are performing salat and someone makes salam, you were allowed to give him reply, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala came back from Habasha to Medina Munawwara, and as soon as he went to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in salat, Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala made salam, assalamu alaikum. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his salat, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave no reply. Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala said, akhadhani ma qaduma wa akhadhani ma hadutha. You know, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave no reply. So Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala was taken aback. He was taken aback. And he was dead silent. He said, you know, it caught me worried that, you know, maybe some past of my sins made my Habib Sallallahu unhappy with me. Or maybe some new sins Nabi Sallallahu came to know, or he is being informed by revelation. That's why he is not responding to my salam. And that is, you know, this is the point I wanted to share. You know, we coming back to the masjid. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward Maulana Abrar Sahib. From the time of lockdown till today, every salat had taken place in this masjid. Everything we owe to Maulana Abrar Sahib. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him and his progeny till the day of Qiyamah. He was insisting, I am not going to stand on this musalla, not even on Saturday. And when I said no, I mean no. Allah ta'ala elevate him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him and his progeny till the day of Qiyamah. There are hundreds of masajid in this country, not once adhan of Allahu Akbar went in those masajid. We must make shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the same time, you know, on this point, let us come back to what we wanted to share. Abdullah ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala made salam and Nabi Sallallahu gave no reply. So Abdullah ibn Masud now tossing and turning that maybe my old sins or my new sins made my Nabi Sallallahu unhappy with me. He is cross. He is not talking to me. He is not responding to me. He is not replying to me. And that must become our, these days, you know, it must be, you know, I say, same fight continues. Same sort of jealousy, rage, anger. There is no change. We are coming out from such a great lockdown. 4 months Allah did not allow us into His house. Allah did not allow us into His house. And all of us, whole Muslim community, everybody, one and all, Am and Khas, ulama and non-ulama, committee members and everybody, how many times you cried to Allah? How many times you repented to Allah? How many times you felt that it's my sins, that house of Allah is shut? How many times you fell? And now when we'll be performing salat with social distancing, every second of our life must be drowned into repentance, that it's my own shortcoming, that I'm not performing salat the way Nabi Sallallahu ordained me to perform salat. And when I will come back to that level, I should not blame anybody, I should blame myself. But when we take the account of our community, same fights used to be before and same fights continue today. Same enmity, same animosity, same jealousy, same race. I am better than you and you are lower than me. Same attitudes. There is no difference. Have we learned any lesson from the lockdown? Have we learned any lesson that masajid were shut on us? And here, I narrated first incident that Nu'aym radiallahu ta'ala, he diverted Umar radiallahu ta'ala from one direction to another direction. Why? Because my Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is more dearer than anything else. I will end here. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu ta'ala, he was worried on this sentence that my past sins or my new sins kept me deprived from the reply of the salam from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. When Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam finished his salat, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to Abdullah, situation is different now. Before you were allowed to give reply to the salam, but now in salat you are not allowed to give reply. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us back to whole Quran and Sunnah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la